You need these 4 mindsets to change your dating and relationship life. If you violate these 4 mindsets, in other words, if your thinking process regarding this whole dating and relationship thing is not in alignment with these 4 core mindsets, you'll never be able to get the dating life you want, and you'll never be able to find the right girlfriend or life partner. So let's crack right on in. Number 1, responsibility. As long as you keep refusing responsibility, as long as you keep blaming lockdowns, dating apps, bars and nightclubs, modern dating, external circumstances, as long as you keep doing that, you will never be able to achieve the freedom you want. Why is that? Well, because responsibility equals freedom. Once you assume responsibility for the outcomes you're able to produce in your own life, you actually understand that you're the one who's in control of changing those. Because as long as you keep refusing responsibility, you're basically pretending that you're not in control. And if you're not in control, well, then I guess it's up to fate or some external circumstance outside of your control to determine whether or not you're going to be successful and happy in your intimate relationship life. So, as much as it hurts to recognize that the situation you're in right now, with the lack of dates, the wrong dates, conversations dying out, the fact that you got a divorce, that all of that is your responsibility, it will also set you free. Yes, the truth hurts at times, but it's the only thing that's going to set you free. And once you accept that, you'll be able to assume control of the things that you actually can control, and then you'll be able to move yourself in a much better direction from this point forward. Number 2, you have to understand that it's possible. You have to realize that getting an amazing girlfriend and life partner, somebody who's physically attractive, as well as with a great personality, as well as smart, that is actually something you can achieve. It is not the fact that you are not good looking enough, that you're not tall enough, that whatever excuse may come to your mind, they're just excuses. Is it easier if you look like Brad Pitt? Of course. Is it easier if you're 6 feet 3 tall or 1 meter 90? Yeah, of course that's easier, but you can only control what you can control, and you can't control your height. You can control your appearance and your looks thereby to an extent, but you have the face you have. You can take control of your haircut, your beard, and the rest of the things, but that's about it. At some point, you have to work with what you got. And the people who win in life are the ones who refuse to make excuses. You have to ask yourself, am I a winner? Am I the kind of man who makes excuses? Or am I able to swallow my pride? Am I able to swallow my ego? Put that aside and actually identify myself with being the learner as opposed to the knower, the way Tom Billieu puts it. Most men suffer in life because their identity is attached to knowing. Oh, I already know that. I'm already good in this area. And they derive a sense of self-worth from knowing and already being good. Therefore, if somebody points out that they suck at communication with women, they feel attacked, as opposed to realizing that it's an opportunity to grow. Tom Billieu says when you can make this one fundamental shift, your life will change forever. When you can start identifying yourself with being the learner. The second you attach your identity to being the learner as opposed to the knower, you'll never get upset if somebody points out that you don't already know something. You're like, oh, thank you, that's great. Because I already didn't know it. I already had that blind spot. You just made me aware of it. And having blind spots, which is what you have in your dating and your relationship life, there's a plenty of unconscious incompetencies that you have that you didn't even know you have. They lead to a lack of positive results. In other words, they are the cause for you not getting the right kind of dates, having an amazing girlfriend, life partner. They already exist. And the second you allow yourself to become the learner, not knowing is not a problem anymore. You actually get excited about not knowing. I get super excited when I find something out about nutrition, business, health, anything, psychology, learning from Andrew Huberman, who has an amazing podcast. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Because I'm making plenty of mistakes in my nutrition, right? In many areas, I'm making plenty of mistakes. And I'm very happy when people come along and show me, you suck here, 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 and here. Does it hurt? Yes, it still hurts a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. I don't have that ego reaction anymore where I need to defend myself against valuable information because it threatens my sense of self-worth. Number 3, I deserve it. A lot of men struggle with this idea that they actually deserve an amazing relationship, and I'm here to tell you that you do. Yes, you may have made mistakes in the past. We all have made mistakes in the past. But as long as your intention is on being a good person, being a respectful man, treating women really well, doesn't mean being a fucking beta male, being a beta simp piece of shit. That's not what this is about, right? But if your intention is genuinely about being kind, being caring, making her life better, then you absolutely deserve an amazing relationship. It's so core to who you are as a person. And we have to understand that as human beings, we are, first and foremost, human beings. We're not human doings, we're not human havings. And thereby our self-worth comes truly from the fact that we exist. And I know that sounds like some spiritual, esoteric woo-woo. And that is not to say that the results, that you deserve certain results in life purely because you exist. Okay? Different models of thinking, right? Different paradigms. One paradigm, which is super important to fall back to, is I deserve it purely because I exist. And that's true. Your self-worth is infinite. That is part of the German Constitution. Your self-worth is untouchable. It's infinite. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter, all these things that the media uses to separate us. Right? No, you are infinitely valuable, sincerely. And if you were to, and especially if you're a man with a successful career or your own business, you're very ambitious, we as men, we tend to forget that. We always look for the next thing, the next challenge that has to be conquered, the next level that needs to be achieved, and that's great, and we're always going to keep doing that. But sometimes we lose the joy. Sometimes we get so obsessed with it that there's not a lot of happiness left in the pursuit, purely because we're so outwardly goal-focused, and that is amazing, and you should be at the same time understand that when you're sitting at home on the toilet, scrolling through TikTok, watching my YouTube videos, whatever it is you're doing, to remember, what would it feel like if I actually was super valuable? What would it feel like if I was valuable just the way I'm sitting right here, right now, without having achieved anything else? Knowing full well that I didn't complete all the items on my to-do list today. What would that feel like? And if you ask yourself these questions along the line of Ericksonian hypnosis, in other words, Gunther Schmidt in Germany, then you can prime a different mental and emotional state. And the more worthy you feel, the better you're gonna act on the date. Okay? It's not just about producing immediate happiness, which is ultimately the goal for all of us as human beings, right? Me being happy, having a meaningful life, and helping other people be happy and have a meaningful life. That's literally it, right? I want to have my needs met, I want to help other people have their needs met and have a happy and meaningful life. So understand that you do deserve it. But at the same time, going back to finish the point, you don't deserve outcomes purely because you exist. You do have to take actions. In other words, another very valuable level of thinking to assume for a few moments is the following. You only deserve the results you've gotten so far, because if you did deserve better results, you would have them already. The people who have an amazing dating life, who have an amazing girlfriend or a life partner, like myself, Fernanda's holding the light, she's smiling, or like plenty of my clients, plenty of people in the world, they have taken actions you haven't taken. They have committed themselves to resolving mindset and emotional issues, which are 70 to 80% of the whole deal. Resolving these mindset issues, these blind spots, overcoming these unconscious incompetencies and moving them to a conscious incompetence, a conscious competence, and eventually making it become an unconscious competence where you get into the flow and not running out of things to say anymore on the date, knowing what to say, creating her interest, having women actually follow up with you after the date. All that's possible because all that is possible for you if you take certain actions, okay? So understand, you are worthy just the way you are, but at the same time, take the fucking actions, okay? Step number 4, it's bigger than just me. or rather, mindset number 4, it is bigger than just myself. And in life, we can sometimes lose motivation if it's just about me, me, me. But Tony Robbins says we're going to do so much more for other people than we'd ever do for ourselves. And it's really true if you think about it. There's things you've done for your mother, your father, siblings, your children that you'd never do for yourself. And once you understand that putting yourself out there, going dating, meeting amazing women, understanding the whole psychology, attraction building principles, understanding the dynamics of man to women interactions, and eventually finding an amazing girlfriend and life partner is not just good for you, but it's good for her. You will literally at some point change the life of one very lucky woman, because the men that I work with, or people who work my stuff, or who watch my stuff online, they are really kind and nice and respectful people, right? Oftentimes a little too nice, right? But really kind and caring people. And if you're a man who genuinely cares, and you have a great business, you have a great career, you have great values, you have great habits, you have your flaws, and I have mine, that's perfectly fine. Doesn't mean we have to be perfect, but you have so much to offer to her, and you have so much to offer to her that 90% of other men, a lot of other men don't have to offer. If you really think about it, even just the fact that, man, I'm going to treat her well. If we have an argument, I'm not going to shout at her. I'm not going to ever be violent. I'll be really respectful. I'll be considerate of her needs. I'll try to make sure she's happy. I'm really willing to invest. Now that's good. Now obviously that's not sufficient, right? You still need to understand the dynamics of attraction, right? Because you've had all that all along and that didn't work. But this is the base that will make her life very, very happy. She will be a very, very lucky person at some point. So put these 4 mindsets into practice. Number 1, responsibility. It's possible. You deserve it. And it's bigger than you.